Am I the a-hole for refusing to take care of my wife since she caught the flu from having sex with her affair partner? Original post. This is partially a rant and partially an actual question. I, 54 male, have been married to my wife, Victoria, 54 female, for over 32 years. We have 3 adult daughters and 1 adult son. Early this year, she started menopause. I loved her and supported her throughout this difficult time. She said she didn't want to have sex because she felt like she's fat and ugly. I told her she's beautiful, and I was patient with her as she said she didn't want to be intimate. It was only since this month that she wanted us to be intimate again. I thought things were getting better, until I saw a condom wrapper in our bedroom. My job involves going out of town for business trips. This last trip, I tried to get into my wife's social media, and luckily enough, she used someone's birthday as the password. I found out her affair partner is Zachary, 35 male, a family friend who has a wife, 29 female. So on my trip, I read so many messages. One message involved Zachary asking if it's okay to come over for their fun time since he thinks he's coming down with something. Even after getting back in town, I read some messages. Zachary messaged that he and his wife have the flu, so he can't see my wife for a while. My wife said that herself getting the flu was worth it. I came home to my wife who's suffering from the flu. I immediately told her that I know about her and Zachary. She was upset, but too weak from the flu to stop me from packing and leaving. She begged me not to leave her alone while she's sick. After I left, my wife has been messaging me. She said she's very sick. I told her to go to the doctor, call ambulance, or call someone else. She said she's not dying, but she needs me. She said she can't call our kids nor any other family member since they'll ask why I'm not there. She said that menopause had made her crazy and that she wouldn't see Zachary anymore. I still haven't gone back. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments before reading the updates. Menopause did not make her cheat. Mail order a carton of NyQuil to her if you're feeling a little compassionate. I'll never know what menopause feels like. I've known other women who've gone through it. To my knowledge, those women have managed to avoid sleeping with married men who's a family friend. Not the a-hole. Leave her and don't look back. Her being sick makes it harder to leave her, but I can't be around her. Single woman here. I take care of myself when I'm sick. She can too. She chose that outcome. Now she has to lie sick in it. All kinds of ick sleeping with a married man-child close to the family. She literally chose to have sex with a man who warned her that he was coming down with something. Afterwards, she messaged him that their fun was worth getting the flu. I have to remember that in case I feel sorry for her. Call the wife and tell her. Call all your kids and tell them before she lies and do the kids right away. See a lawyer right away. I would hate to tell my kids, but I may have to if their mom will lie to them. She will, or say it's because your day was verbally abusive. You need to go on the offensive. If you play the good guy, it will come back to kick you in the teeth. Call them now. Show them the texts about the flu, etc. I told my kids just now. I also told Zach's wife. Now for the mini updates. As soon as I found the messages, I was planning on telling Zach's wife. I wanted to tell her face-to-face. I wanted to spare our adult kids the horrible news. But many in the comments made a good point that my wife could lie to our kids. So I called Zach's wife first. I don't know what's going on in their marriage because she believed me right away. I called my kids and talked to them like a conference call. I had to unfortunately send some proof to them. I didn't go overboard, just enough for them to believe me. Obviously, they're all upset. I tried to keep it together as I don't want to vent about their mother to them. Mini update 2. Zach's wife has been messaging me last night and this morning. She was planning on leaving Zachary anyway because Zachary was sleeping with 2 other women. But the fact that Victoria is a married woman who is like a family member speeds things up. Zach's wife made Zachary leave the house. Also, all my kids have called their mother. They're not buying any of their mom's excuses. They all want me to divorce her. Update 3. The answer was obvious, but I needed other people to tell me, so I didn't stupidly go back to my wife. Thank you for those who commented on the first post. I had made 2 edits on a first post explaining some stuff that happened after I posted. To just briefly touch on those edits, Zach's wife and my adult kids know that my wife Victoria had an affair with Zachary. Zach's wife kicked him out of their house. All kids are on my side and they want us to divorce. I talked to a friend who's a major divorce attorney for the 3rd time. I've given her a lot of evidence so she can decide what she can use. She did say that I should be careful with what I say online, especially not to use Victoria's and Zachary's real names. Our kids, especially our eldest daughter, are pressuring their mom to make this a quick and easy divorce. A lot of people who commented said I was being too nice to my cheating wife. I'll show some pettiness by letting everyone here mock all the excuses and minimizations she made for cheating. Menopause made her crazy. She felt fat and ugly. She felt like she didn't deserve me. Zachary came on to her first. She wanted to make sure a man can be attracted to her without him being obligated to because she's the mother of his children. She had sex with Zachary to make sure she can still have sex. She says Zachary didn't mean anything to her. I'm overreacting because Zachary is a family friend and not a family member. Zach's wife isn't like a daughter to us. She didn't betray a woman that's like a daughter to us. Other husbands have forgiven their wives when the wives cheat. If I had sex with a younger woman during a midlife crisis, she would have forgiven me. We have 4 kids. We've been together for so long. I promised to love her in sickness and in health. She felt like she didn't deserve me. I mean, she ain't wrong. Some people will go to great lengths just to always be right. Her excuses are disgusting. Good for you for seeing through her BS. Menopause doesn't make you cheat. If she felt fat and ugly, then that's something to work out in therapy or with you. I think she almost ran a full list of made-up excuses, except for the mind-controlling aliens excuse. It's interesting how she's refusing to acknowledge any harm she did to the other wife. Zach's wife is someone Victoria and I watched grow up. She was like a niece. Our eldest daughter was the maid of honor at their wedding. The fact that she feels no remorse for the pain she inflicted on another woman is telling. It's all me, 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 me. I felt sad, I felt ugly, I felt old, me, me, me. What about the other woman? True, Victoria is so self-centered. Menopause makes just about every woman gain weight, especially in the stomach. I went through about 13 years ago. Never cheated on my husband. My eldest daughter didn't appreciate it when my wife said that when she goes through menopause, she'll understand. Next story. Am I the a-hole for allowing my husband's mistress to meal prep for him and the kids? My husband has been cheating on me for years with different women. Due to this, I've completely shut off from him. We don't have a sexual relationship, but we do an amazing job at being parents. Our kids love us, and that's all that matters in the grand scheme of things. I am not dating anyone. This isn't an open relationship. Every time he cheats, he acts more remorseful, but I've come to terms that I can't save him. He's seeing this woman Cherry and she's a cook and baker. We were in a little tussle once, but that's in the past. I've moved on. I don't like her, but I don't hate her. Few weeks back, I caught him eating in his car and realized it was from her. The packaging gave him away. She has been sending him goodie bags and now full meals. I told him going forward, I'm no longer cooking for him and he needs to let her do everything including meals for the kids. I really put my foot down and did some petty things that I'm not proud of, but it worked. I told him if she loves him, he will do it, but I'm done. Well, I don't know what he did to convince her, but at least 3 times a week they get meals from Cherry. He brings the container and plates the food. The kids are happy because they think they're getting takeout. I don't partake. On the other days, I cook for just the kids and myself. My husband, on the other hand, got mad and said I manipulated him into taking advantage of Cherry and kept asking me what do I get out of these mind games. I told my best friend about the whole ordeal, and she's upset with me saying that what if Cherry spikes the kids' meals? I don't think she would do it. Am I the a-hole for letting this happen? Now for the comments. Mistress wanted to be a sister wife. She got assigned sister wife duties. LMAO. I don't really know how I feel about trusting a mistress on feeding my kids though. She's a professional mistress. She'll move on from him soon. Why are you staying with him? For Pete's sake, just get divorced. This is sick and a terrible environment in which to raise kids. I'm not giving up my house and leaving with half. I hope I get under his skin and he gives up everything. These comments are boosting me to leave, but it's not black and white. We have built a good amount together. Financially, it's a stupid idea. It's cool to say leave until you're homeless with no help. Not everyone has a village. I do provide, but I'm not leaving my home. How long would my salary last to stay in a hotel or motel? Get an apartment? We live in a small town, as I've said many comments ago. I would have to move 30 minutes away to live in an apartment complex. My husband would not leave our home either. I can't up and leave and stay at a friend's home. In all likelihood, you wouldn't have to. Negotiate that in a divorce. Find out if you live in an at-fault state. You have proof of his repeated infidelity. Honestly, talk to a lawyer. Find out what your options are. Nobody deserves to live like this. And you're going to seriously ruin your kids if the shenanigans continue. Kids aren't stupid. This is the strangest thing I've read on here in ages. I know a couple in a similar situation. They struggled with infertility for years, both had issues, and eventually decided to adopt. After adopting a few children, including some who were not babies, she caught him sleeping with her best friend. Despite this, she didn't want to divorce because she felt it would be unfair to break up their home after finally providing a stable and safe environment for the children. 2 of the kids had been in intense therapy for years and were finally starting to settle in and calm down. The couple has developed an amazing co-parenting dynamic and even friendship, but there's no intimacy or romantic love between them. She says she's not interested in relationships anymore and is content with her life as it is. The husband, however, isn't as happy. He misses having a loving relationship with her, but he knows there's no going back. He stays because he doesn't want to disrupt the children's lives. It's unusual to witness, but I respect that they've managed to keep things together for the sake of the kids. They don't fight at all. Last story. Am I the a-hole for leaving my husband after he won a large sum of money? My 32 female husband, 36 male, was in a work accident several years ago, and he won a court case in which he was awarded a sum in the multi-millions. My husband and I live in the US and have been struggling for years, especially since his accident, since he hasn't been able to work a job in his specialty since. He's mainly been working minimum to low-wage jobs because his degree and trade experience are in an industry his body can no longer work in. I make pretty good money, but again, we live in the economical hellscape that is America. In the last year since the settlement, my husband has become the most smug, stuck-up, pretentious man I've ever known, and I'm sick of it. Our friends and family aren't good enough for us anymore because now we have money. Our home and cars and clothes weren't good enough for us, and anyone with a small house, paid-off car, or mall clothes was sad and depressing. He judges people hard, and he is not quiet about it. He is mean and rude to the people we interact with. Of course, we got nicer things when he received his money, but he was adamant on luxury things. And to him, anyone who doesn't live in a mansion on the hills with a Lamborghini and Gucci shoes is embarrassing. He gets upset with me for not wanting to spend crazy amounts of money. Why would I buy a $2,000 pair of shoes when I can get a pair just like it for $60? It feels like giving a child with no concept of money $20 and setting them free in a Dollar Tree. He's bought me a ton of expensive clothes and jewelry, new electronics. He pays for high-end spa days and even bought me a new car. I feel like an ungrateful woman for saying this, but I don't really like the gifts. Nothing is my style or taste. He's buying it just because it's expensive. My husband harasses me daily to quit the job I love and says that I make us look bad by working and making us still look poor. He gets upset if I want to go to the same chain restaurants we've always liked, Buffalo Wild Wings, Jack in the Box, etc., instead of 5-star Michelin steakhouses and sushi places because we can afford it now. He's even gone as far as trying to push me towards plastic surgery because we can't afford it, so why not? He suggested a boob job, BBL, lip filler, and at one point, that surgery where they removed the bottom rib. I feel like he's starting to think I don't look good enough for him and our new lifestyle. We've gone to couples therapy, but his attitude isn't improving. It's even gotten worse, and I'm miserable. This is not the man I married. I don't want to have kids and raise a family with him, but I'm afraid that if I leave, everyone will cry gold digger. We married when we were young and broke, and didn't consider a prenup because we had nothing. Dumb, I know, but we were kids. Am I the a-hole? No, leave him. He's going to blow through that money soon enough. Keep all the gifts and sell them once you are divorced. He has told you to get plastic surgery. If you don't, he will just cheat because he knows gold diggers will be after him. Yes, he will waste it all away. Get out and find peace and love. Leave. Not only will he waste all that money away in no time, he will go into huge debt in order to maintain the lifestyle and image that he wants to project to the world. If OP doesn't leave soon, she will be on the hook for all the debt that he incurs via loans and credit cards, after wasting all the money he was awarded. He is exactly like those stupid lottery winners who end up living in a broken-down trailer at the end of a dirt road, hiding from collection agencies and people who still think they have money. OP is not the a-hole, but she needs to divorce now. Not the a-hole. I would also be very afraid of that level of spending, in addition to him being an insufferable prick. I mean, multi-million sounds like a lot, but is it 4 million or 20 million? In general, you can live off investments, assuming the money is invested, but the rule of thumb is 4% of the amount, if you want the money to last. And you need it to last. You guys are young. Let's say it is $5 million. That means the 4% amount before taxes is $200K a year income. This equals roughly $141K a year after taxes. That is not Gucci and Lambo money. You know, most lottery winners are broke after a couple of years, and it sounds like your husband is on the same path. I would make sure you are saying in counseling that you are not enjoying things just because they are expensive. You liked your old life, minus the financial stress. You liked him when he enjoyed his simpler things, and you want him to stop acting like an entitled a-hole. Also, I suggest you quietly go talk to a lawyer and find out what the financial split would be. Depending on where you live, you might not be entitled to any of it, or you might be entitled to a reasonable split. If you are entitled to a reasonable share, you can always go for less and settle for, say, 1 to 2 million. That would be enough to have a great retirement if you invested it and kept working for 15 or 20 years. This man is going to burn through all that money, and once it hits him that it's over, he's going to go from smug jackass to an incredibly bitter and oppressed one. I hate to say get out while the getting is good, but your advice is spot on.